In this video, I'm going to be taking a look and reviewing this Maono USB microphone. This is the AU-903, great for podcasting, YouTube videos, voiceovers, and more. Let's check it out. Up next. Hey guys, my name is Jeff, and on this channel I do all sorts of tech reviews, unboxings, tutorials, and more, so please consider subscribing. Today we're going to be checking out this microphone. For full disclosure, this was sent out to me by Maono for my honest review. Just because they sent it to me doesn't automatically mean I'm going to give it a great review. I'm going to put this thing to the test and show you guys all the features, and I'll give you guys my honest opinion at the end of this video. If you want to check out more information about this mic, there will be a link down in the description below to where you can find this on Amazon. Right now on Amazon, this microphone is currently priced at about $75. So let's start by unboxing this guy, see what you get. So right out of the box, we've got the microphone, and my first impressions are this is completely made out of metal. I really like that. It's got a nice padded bottom, and it has a little bit of weight to it. So this thing does not feel cheap. It definitely feels like a very quality microphone. And we have got a USB-A to a USB-C cable. So something that's always kind of important to me is the cable lengths, because if you're hooking this up in your studio or if you're going to use this on your desk, you want to know how much cable you have. The USB cable that they include is roughly about 3 feet in length. So in case you have certain height requirements with your studio or your setup, just to let you guys know, this microphone in itself is right from the bottom here about just under 6 inches, in between the 5.5 and 6 inches in height. If you're measuring it from the bottom of the stand to the top of the microphone, you are going to be looking at roughly 7.5 inches. And real quick, as we do in all the videos on this channel, we've hidden Tinker. He's our little hidden robot, and if you happen to spot him briefly popping up somewhere in this video, take note of the timestamp or the amount of time into this video that you spotted him popping up. Let me know that down in the comments section below. If you're the first person to do that, you'll get your name and your YouTube channel, if you have one, featured on our Tinker Forward Hall of Fame page. So I really like the small profile of this microphone. I do think that this is made not only for studio use, but to be mobile. You could take this with you if you are on the go, if you are going to do remote podcasting, if you are planning on doing voiceovers with some sort of video or audio. That would be some of the uses for this microphone. So if we look at the build quality of this microphone, it has this metal mesh at the top. And again, everything about this microphone is metal. It does have these swivel locks so that you can angle it however you want. There are 2 gain knobs on the front. The first one is for the microphone, and the second one is for headphones that you can plug in. This all sits on the stand, which is underneath, and it has this round base with the padding underneath it. I would say that it is a pretty heavy-duty build. As we flip around to the back, we've got our settings button here for omnidirectional and cardioid, and then we also have our headphone output, so we can directly plug our headphones right into this microphone. We also have our USB-C port on the back of this as well. Something else that's unique and very convenient on this microphone is that the bottom of the plate that this sits on unscrews. So once you've got the plate off the bottom of this microphone, I want to show you that there are threads, so you can mount this not only on the outside, but there's also threads on the inside as well. So if you have a boom mic stand or just a regular mic stand that you want to use, I've got one that was like $20 off of Amazon. You can use that, and this mic screws right onto one of those stands. So I will put a link down in the description below where you can just check out that mic stand. The other thing is, if you're planning on doing some sort of broadcasting, podcasting, something like that, and you've got one of those scissor arm stands that's got like the shock mount and stuff, and you want to mount this to that as well, you can do that. If this particular bottom piece doesn't match up exactly, again, you can go on Amazon and you can get a screw adapter kit that gives you all different sizing options so that you can mount this to different posts, and there'll be a link down in the description below as well. But the fact that you can just unscrew that bottom and then you can turn this microphone into all those different connections to use it however you want is also extremely convenient. And take a second right now, if you're enjoying this video, smash that like button as it helps out this video as well as this channel. So I've got everything set up on the table here just to go through a quick demo with you. We're going to do a sound test in a minute, but first, what I think is also really important is talking about the setup options. So with this microphone having the direct USB-C connection port in the back, and then including that cable, that USB-C to USB cable, I can directly plug it into my Google Pixel 3 phone, and I can go into the video recording software that's just it comes with the phone and then start recording on the fly. When I plug the mic into my phone, it's going to light up and it's going to give me that option to just start recording. That is really convenient to me. Now you can do the same thing using whatever connection going into a personal computer, a laptop. Again, you're probably going to need some different cables. So this comes with the USB-C to USB connection. If you're going right into this phone, you might need a connection like with my Google Pixel, I had a USB-C to USB-C cable. You can also get longer USB-C to USB cables depending on the length you need. Like I said, this one's only 3 feet, but again, you can go on Amazon, you can get 6 feet to 15 feet, depending on how much cable you're going to need for your setup. So in addition to different cable connections and setups, I would also recommend that you get some sort of a filter or a windscreen for this microphone. This has the metal mesh on it, and we'll test out how the sound quality is with that. But you can also get things like this flat piece here, which is a pop filter, or you can also get a windscreen like this. Windscreen's probably almost going to be a little bit better if you're almost outside the pop filter. Either one of them are going to eliminate plosives. So a plosive is where you're talking into the microphone, and if you are saying words with letters like P or B, like pat or bag or pig, you can kind of notice that my lips are pressing together, and that's kind of making those pop noises, or you can feel me talking. You want to ease that as much as you can so you're not getting as much of that into the microphone. These filters are pretty cheap, and windscreens are pretty cheap on Amazon. Same thing with these cables, and I'm going to leave links down in the description below if you want to check any of those out if you're thinking about getting this microphone and you want to add on any of these extra things. So first, let's start with what the audio quality sounds like when I am talking and I'm using the internal microphone on my Google Pixel 3. This is kind of an example of what the microphone sounds like. It's not going to have quite as much depth. It's going to be more of a shallow microphone that gets it done. But again, this is the audio from the Google Pixel 3 phone. So this is an audio test using the AU-903 model, and as you can hear, the audio is coming directly out of this microphone, and I've got it wired into my Google Pixel 3 phone. I was able to just do a quick recording on the fly, and I really like that ability. A couple of things to note. So the gain, as far as the audio gain that's on the front of this, I have currently turned up to just under 50%. And as I am using this microphone, I also am using the headphones. So I have the monitor out going into my headphone jack, and I can hear myself talking, and I can hear how the level sounds. This is really convenient to be able to just do this right from this microphone and not have to pipe a separate output out of my laptop computer or out of another source if I'm jacking into some sort of a mixer. So let's do an audio test. I'm going to read some information here. If you're going to be using this for podcasting or maybe voiceover for one of your YouTube videos, this is going to be reporting on the Fitbit Sense watch, which I happen to be wearing. I'm sitting about 8 inches away from the microphone. I've got the gain just under 50%, and I'm also listening in through the monitor. So the new Fitbit Sense features an electrocardiogram, or an ECG test, that measures the electrical activity of your heart. How does it work? There are sensors in the frame and biosensor core of your Sense smartwatch. So now we're going to put a windscreen on and see if that reduces any of the plosives. So the Fitbit Sense features an electrocardiogram, or ECG, which is a test that measures the electrical activity of your heart. How does it work? There are sensors in the frame and biosensor core of your Sense smartwatch. So real quick, I also want to turn the microphone gain down, and then I'm going to turn it higher up so you can get some examples of using the different audio based on how low or high you have the set. So this is audio from the microphone set at about 20% for gain. The Fitbit Sense adds a whole slew of sensors to the Fitbit lineup to track everything from stress to blood oxygen levels. So this is audio from the microphone with the gain turned up to about 90%. The Fitbit Sense adds a whole slew of sensors to the Fitbit lineup to track everything from stress to blood oxygen levels. So I figured let's do the rest of this review using the microphone because I really like the sound of it, and I like the fact that I can monitor all of my audio right through the headphones as I'm talking. So the microphone itself has two different settings. It has cardioid setting, which is where it's going to just take the audio from the person sitting here and talking into it. The other one is the omnidirectional, which is going to get audio from just about everywhere. So this comes into play if you are going to be using this microphone maybe to do interviews and you are going to have somebody else sitting across from you. You can turn it to that omnidirectional. With the cardioid mode, if I am sitting on the other side of the microphone and I turn it around, you are not going to get the same audio because the microphone is focusing on just that one spot and trying to block out audio from everywhere else. Whereas if I switch it over to the omnidirectional, now that we're in the omnidirectional mode, I can even hear in my monitor that it's picking up audio from everywhere. So if I'm sitting on this side of the microphone, if I'm sitting on this side of the microphone, I am getting the same audio input, so I can capture audio from all over the place, which makes this a great microphone not only for doing those types of voiceovers and things, but also for interviews. Something else that's great about this microphone is it has a mute button, and the mute button is basically the gain knob, and if you push it in, it's going to mute the mic. So I can be talking and push the mute button. You're not going to hear anything I'm saying, so also having a built-in mute button is really a nice feature. So let's get to my final thoughts about this microphone. So we've had the chance to look at all the different features. I guess some of the pros that I really like about this microphone, it being priced at around that $75 mark, I think this makes it a great microphone for anybody that's just getting into podcasting, just getting into YouTube. If you don't currently have a good microphone, to me this is a great price point to get you going, and I think the audio out of this microphone sounds really good. So in addition to this microphone sounding good, I like all the different mounting options, the fact that you can unscrew the bottom plate and then you can mount this microphone to either a swing arm or a microphone stand. Gives you a lot of different options for setting up in a studio doing recording, as well as having that little plate that's on the bottom, making it convenient to just set it up on a table and do some sort of an interview or podcast on the fly. The fact that it has the two settings, the cardioid and the omnidirectional, gives you more options to use this microphone by just being able to quickly flip the switch to change settings on this microphone. Two things that I think they could improve on maybe for future models. The first thing is, as great as it is that you can unscrew the bottom plate and you can tilt this microphone, the hinges that the microphone sits on that allow you to angle it, they seem a little cheap. They're made out of metal, which is great, but I've noticed that even when I'm playing with angling this microphone, it doesn't always stay at the angle that I set it at. Not a big deal, definitely not a deal breaker to me. One thing else that I wish that they would also include is just a longer USB-C cable. With different studio setups, having the longer cable, in my opinion, is something that a lot of people could benefit from. So I'm interested to know your thoughts about this microphone, or if you guys have any other questions, anything that I didn't cover in this video, let me know down in the comments section below. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Tinker Forward, I've done all sorts of different audio equipment reviews, Bluetooth receivers, lighting, studio equipment, and more, so you can check all that out. There'll be links at the end of this video or down in the description below. My name is Jeff. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to make every day awesome, and I will see you guys in the next video.